It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Monday, June 28th, 2021. Number 1 year and 1 month after millions watched the murder of George Floyd, Derek Chauvin was sentenced to 270 months or 22 and a half years for that murder. Chauvin was sentenced on the most serious charge, second-degree unintentional murder. Judge Peter Cahill went beyond the state guidelines of 12 and a half years, although the prosecutors asked for a sentence of 30 years in prison. Number 2, 1 day before Democrats and Republicans reached a tentative agreement on the Biden administration's signature infrastructure bill, a bridge collapsed over a Washington, D.C. roadway after being struck by a truck. The night that the infrastructure deal was reached, a tower of a South Florida condominium building collapsed. A bipartisan deal to invest nearly $1 trillion in the nation's infrastructure appeared to be back on track Sunday, but politicians, you need to hear the message. Stop the partisan gameplay when millions of American lives of your voting constituents are at stake. Number 3. Late last week, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced it has approved a 30-day extension to the Eviction Moratorium. It bans the eviction of renters who have been unable to make payments more than 1 year after the COVID-19 pandemic began. The Eviction Moratorium, which was set to expire on June 30th, 2021, is now effective through July 31st, 2021. That according to a release, and this will be the final extension of the moratorium. Number 4. Curtis Crossland, a black 60-year-old father and grandfather, has been released from an Arizona prison after being exonerated from a life sentence for the 1984 murder of South Philadelphia store owner. Crossland spent years representing himself and presenting evidence to support his innocence. Eyewitnesses said he was not the killer. He was released this week after 34 years behind bars when the DA's investigation concluded investigators illegally concealed information about the witnesses. Number 5. Major brands like Nike and Adidas are dipping their toes into the plant-based or vegan athletic shoe game as a way to spur sales while being kind to the environment. A recent study found that about 35% of buyers said that they would be willing to pay more for a shoe that is made sustainably. With the rise of environmentally conscious consumers, along with the increasing vegan population, the demand for products like vegan sneakers is rapidly growing. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Free your mind by releasing all the things of which you have no control. Letting go of all the things you cannot control. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedians Huggy Lowdown, Chris Paul, and Coy Malone as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partner, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.